Hi everyone, it's Nicole from mychristmas.com.au, and today I'm with you to talk about Raz Imports, one of our favourite US suppliers. Each year they put together a stunning range of Christmas trees with the themes for the new season, which we always use as inspiration when we're looking at our buying and putting together our own looks for the store, and it helps, I think, you also to put together your themes for the coming years. So let's have a look at what they've put together. I think there's 16 or 17 beautiful trees that we'll go through and share with you now. Okay, the first theme that they've got is called All is Calm. It's a really lovely modern styling. So you've got that boho chic kind of style with the natural foliage in there. I love the way they've used the pop of green, and obviously the black is also the prominent tone in there. The natural elements they've worked through, garlands in the natural wood. You've got some baubles with the rope sort of styling on it, as well as a little bit of white in there as well. White always gives a great pop to the tree. The whole look is very simple and elegant. It works beautifully. The room that they've put this in is a great example of how to use it with the natural woods and a bit of black in the theme. Okay, so the second theme is Bon Noël, really soft, elegant styling with this one. So they have used champagne gold. Champagne gold has been really popular for years now, whereas it used to always be a brighter gold. So you find you use both options. What I really love about this is when you have a look, you can see they've used beautiful natural flowers in here as well. So rather than just the poinsettias and magnolias we often have at Christmas, they've got some beautiful flowers that look to me like roses, and also the way they've used the ribbon to create really beautiful, stunning, elegant bows. A really lovely and soft look. Okay, another one for you guys who are sort of the beach side themes that you might like, or something light and airy. This is called Celebrate the Season. Definitely, to me, screams seaside, even though it's kind of got that, it starts with, I think, a bit of the ginger jar styling in it. So it does have that slight Asian pop as well. The beautiful pale blue is got the slightest tones of a green to it as well. So it's a really nice mix where you could go in and add more of the pale blue, or you could add more of a green, and then the more natural style of ribbon and natural flowers with a little bit of champagne gold in there as well. This is a bright option this year, and another example where they've used the flowers in the tree. Also, this tree, have a look at the style, the way they've grouped the ornaments together to create a garland effect, which I think is a really lovely way to do the tree. Something a little bit different and a great way to mix up your look each year, even if you keep the same decorations. So bright pink, a brighter pop of green in there, and then you've also got soft pink and white bringing it together. And actually a bit of soft green as well. I really love these colours. I'm loving pink for the Christmas this year, and I think this is a great example. Okay, so of course you have to have classics at Christmas, and they've actually put together two looks for their classics. So one is traditional, one more whimsical. They're both their classic carol theme, so around the musical note. So you can see in this one, they've made it more whimsical by using the elves, and they're using the larger elves and also the larger instruments in the tree. So it does create far more of a feel of whimsy, and the tree we'll see next is the more traditional style. Again, they're using ribbons as part of the tree toppers, as well as the ribbons made into bows rather than sort of fed through the trees that we've seen over the last few years. So another way of using the ribbon in it, and also the sprays out the side are lovely in this sort of whimsical take. So now with the more traditional look, you can see that it's more about just the elegant ornaments on here. So you've got the green being really strong, and also the white ornaments with the green and red on it. I always love adding a little bit of white in the ornament if you can, because it does add that little bit of brightness to the tree. This is quite a dark sort of tree, being more traditional, but it does add that little bit of softness and light. The ribbon they've used looks to me like it's might be champagne gold as well in that. And they've used musical instruments, but they're smaller sizes. Coming to the next one on my slide deck. Here we go. Okay, dashing through the snow. So they've had a ski or a snow theme for the last few years. The first one they did was red and white with a pop of black with the penguin colouring. Then they added red, white, and green, and now they've gone and added the blue to that. So you can see in this one, you've still got the green in there, but you've also got beautiful pops of blue. So if you're loving the snowy theme and you've been working on that over the last couple of years and you want to change it up, you can simply add an additional colour like this bright blue to really create a new look. Of course, the beautiful signs, the ski rentals are another way of keeping that theme going rather than just having it all as ornaments if you want to have a slightly more whimsical look. Heartfelt Christmas, again, this theme is sort of using more of a softer tone. So the reds in this, there will be a little bit of a pop of red in the berry, but if you look at the reds on the baubles, they're a slightly more muted finish, and there's also mistletoe foliage in here with just a little bit of red. So the whole look is more that beautiful soft mid-tone green. Again, the ribbon that they've used here, it's actually a narrower ribbon to the ones that we've seen in the other trees. So that would be 38mm wide, made into bows again with the ribbon then feeding through the tree. And they've also used the birch as a really beautiful statement spraying out of the tree as another option. I've got two trees that they've brought to us with the holiday cheers, so using the cocktail theme. So this is a tabletop tree, and in this case they've obviously using it as sort of a backdrop. It'd be a great way to do an event that you had at home, Christmas party and so forth, and they really use the decorations as the feature on this. So when you have a look, you can see that they've got the different cocktails, different wine bottles or gin bottle, it looks like to me, and the red, white and silver, but the overall look is more about the ornaments themselves in this particular tree. They've also used softness with a really soft see-through flower in this tray. And then when we get to the bigger version of the tray, it's much more bold. So the tree here, again, is using exactly the same colours, but they've used these very large tassels on them to give that kind of wow factor. Red and silver always gives a very glitzy look, so if you're wanting to be bolder with your colours, rather than red and white, which is a little bit more traditional, a little bit, I think, a little bit softer, you could go with the silver, which is what they've done here. They'll still have the ornaments in here, which are the cocktail theme, but they just are not the prominent part. The more prominence is those tassels, the crystal garland that they've got in there, and of course the big flowers as well. I actually love the little trees on that one. Now, for our, we're in Australia. If you don't recognise the accent, we don't actually do autumn because our autumn is actually in March, April, May. But this is a great example they've done called Holiday House. So for our US viewers, I think this is a really pretty soft version of those tones, using the autumn leaf obviously as the influence here, with a little bit of pumpkin on there. And I think that's a lovely way if you want to do in between season. Jingle and Cocoa is by far, I think, the most popular theme this year, certainly from my clients. Soft pink, white, red are the colours for it. We're doing it with gingerbread as well when we put it together. Looking again, you can see the bows being used at the top of the tree, which is really lovely. Also, when you're putting flowers in the tree, they're using berries and flowers. This particular example of the tree is a more elegant version. I'm going to show you their second tree in a moment, and you'll see that this is soft with the sort of light pink flowers being the feature on here, I feel, and the whole look being quite soft. And then this is the same colorway, but done with a much bolder look. So they've used a bright, like a big red flower with the red and white trim on the edge, and they've also used that red and white stripe ribbon as a real feature in this, run right through the tree to create far more of a wow factor, using exactly the same colours, exactly the same ribbons. We've also noticed that when you look at the flowers in this tree, you can really see it quite obviously. They are often now working two flowers together. So the two colours of the tray, rather than spreading the flowers throughout the tray, they're putting two together. So that's also another way you can change up the look of your decorating, which is really lovely. And I wanted to just share this one as well, which I haven't got other bits and pieces for the different themes, but I just thought this was a beautiful example of a wreath. They've used all the elements that are in that jingle and cocoa theme, the bow that's available. They've cut up the smaller sprays of flowers to add in there. Beautiful glass. This would be a piece you can have inside your home rather than something that you have outside. I would not be putting this on my front door. I would not risk it being damaged. Okay, so now we change up the look again to the natural Noel. So again, the natural elements, we've already had one example of that, but in this one we've got a bit of tin showing through, the natural and the ribbon, the beautiful rattan in the bells in here, as well as that sort of a creamy colour repeat floral pick that's through on this one. This tree also is a green base tree, so a lot of them you will notice are flocked. This one gives obviously that far more natural element to it by sticking to a green tree rather than a flocked. Works so well with that sort of cabin look that you've got going on in the room here with this tree. All right, another example of classic Christmas, so traditional. This one obviously more the gold rather than champagne. O Tannenbaum is the theme that they've called it. They've used the lanterns as the feature not only on the ground around the tree, but if you look right in the middle of the tree, they've used a large lantern as a feature piece. In fact, they'll have a couple of those lanterns tied into the tree. So you can use bigger pieces on the tree as well. Don't be afraid to do that. If it was me, I would have one sort of top third, sort of on to the left a little bit, and one to the right a little bit in the bottom third, just to spread it out, and then beautiful red and gold flowers and ribbon creating the opulence with some drops in the ornaments. Okay, sleigh bells. Again, traditional colours, but a totally different look to what we just had. The real hero here is obviously the bells themselves. So they've got the large bells on the beautiful garland on the staircase as well, using lots of pine cones. The tree is green, but we've got a little bit of flocking and lightness on the pine cones there, and lots of Santas in the tree. So giving it that really beautiful traditional look. It's a little bit more maybe on trend as far as the colouring goes, but then you've still got the fun when you've got kids around because you've got plenty of Santas in the tree, which is always something to consider. Who's going to be enjoying the tree? Is it kids? Is it adults? Is it just for your home theme that or your colouring that you're worried about, or is it the style that you like? Vintage farmhouse is all about beautiful glass, predominantly glass ornaments, and also the kind of cotton wrapped ornaments that are definitely from the 50s. I used to use them on my grandparents' tree when I would help set up the tree for them when I was a kid. They had tons of those ornaments. So you've got the sort of reflector style of ornaments here, and a lot of glass, a very open tree, so it's all about the decorations singing. So if you love your decorations to be the focal point, then having a tree that's very open like this style is a great option, a great thing to consider as well. And then a new design for this year is definitely this winter frost. We're seeing this sort of amethyst, lilac, lavender, whatever you want to call it, all those sort of tones, the soft purple tones coming through with a bit of pewter in the tree as well. Gorgeous layering of the two ribbons fed throughout the tree. So again, ribbons definitely a focal point. The flowers in the soft sort of pewtery colour, definitely silver in here as well. And the whole look, very, very elegant, very pretty with the rhinestones in the sort of snowflakey ornaments on there, as well as the glass being a feature hanging from a very heavily decorated tree with those silver and light purple tones. For those who don't know, we are in Australia. We do ship overseas, so if you are looking for something you see on our website, you can contact us. You don't necessarily see the pricing for shipping up front because some of it can be quite reasonable and some, when it's heavier, is really expensive. But for our locals as well, do check out the website. We also do have an Instagram page, so check that out. We try and keep lots of inspirational images for you so you can use them as ideas when you're creating your themes. That's it for me today. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks to our friends at Raz Imports for always putting together such an amazing decoration pack and ideas for us to use. I always love seeing what they create every single year. Have fun as you plan your decorating, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.